artists essential workers or non-essential workers?
It's definitely essential work, but not in the sense of those people who are being called essential workers today. Sure. I mean, there is an immediate need for food and medicine and healthcare and the movement of goods. I think that art and making art and artists is still essential in maybe multiple ways. The first way that comes to mind is kind of in just a way of negotiating our own lives. And in that sense, it's not that artists are essential workers, it's that art is an essential work. And not necessarily, I mean, I don't know about for everybody. I don't know if that's important. I mean, I would sort of say yes to everybody, although I think a lot of individuals would say, well, it's not essential for me. Mm-hmm. But I think even those people probably have something, I certainly hope they do, that engages them on a similar level as, say, making art. And I mean, one of the hardest things to negotiate through this pandemic is the mental stress and the isolation and the worry and I mean, a million little things, right? I mean, I did for the very first time have to go into a grocery store 2 days ago. And what really struck me is how there is no leisure there. It is a stressful experience, period. Mm-hmm. You know, a third of the customers in there didn't have masks on.
Yeah.
And some of them are using these motorized carts. And they're elderly, and I'm like, you're elderly and you're in a motorized cart, but you're not at risk, so you're just not wear a mask.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, so there's this kind of like panic of looking at the list. Am I forgetting anything? Because I don't want to get home and realize like, oh, I forgot something important. And then like trying to plan my route through the grocery store so that I'm in there as short a time as possible,
right.
Blah, blah. And so I think that making and the kind of leisure and play that art offers is a sort of a direct sort of need to that. And I mean, I don't want to say response, but so I would say art is certainly essential. And I think artists are essential workers too, because artists defined broadly, so not just visual artists, but all sort of workers in that regard. I mean, otherwise, how do we document this time? How do we understand this time later? How do we come to terms with this time? And I think everybody that's doing daily drawings, everybody that's doing journaling, everybody that's making photographs from their balconies, everybody that's singing, you know, I think that is absolutely essential work, just in a very different way than the essential work of the healthcare and the movement of essential goods and services.
Right.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now I've done a little research into Jeffrey Dell, and this is going to be a multiple choice.
Okay.
So which one of the following is not a real Jeffrey Dell? Okay, I've got a list here. Jeffrey Dell, British filmmaker and author of the 1939 novel Nobody Ordered Wolves. That's A. Option B, Jeffrey Dell, Director of Crisis Management at Norton LifeLock. C, Jeffrey Dell, Culinary Director at Canadian casual dining chain Milestones. And lastly, D, Jeffrey Dell, Swiss amateur mountaineer from the 1970s, for whom the Dell Traverse of the St. Elias Range is named.
So I'm supposed to pick which one of these is not a real Jeffrey Dell?
Not a real Jeffrey Dell, yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. Well, not listed, but definitely true are a whole lot of Jeffrey Dells who have been arrested for strange crimes. It's like Florida Man.
Saw that actually.
50 Jeffrey Dells. But
I left those off the list.
I believe that they would not name a traverse after an amateur mountaineer. So I'm going to say that one.
You are very perceptive, my friend. That is, option D is not a real Jeffrey Dell. Good job.
Good fiction, though.
Okay. So what are you seeking refuge in now? If it's your studio practice, or if it's something else, what might that be?
Two things. One, I am very proud of telling you about, and the second, I am totally embarrassed, not totally embarrassed, but fairly embarrassed to tell you about. I'll tell you I'll get the embarrassing one over. An online video game. It's a pad-based game. It's like Galaga. It's like an alien shooter game, which, Galaga is a game I played as a 12-year-old, pushing quarters into the machines.
Yeah.
And I started playing it for fun, and then I realized, like, oh, there's like these teams all over the world, and now I'm on a team, and now I'm the leader of the team, and it just on and on. And so now, yeah, and so that has been it frankly is a lot of fun, but it's not productive in that normal sense. The second thing that I am more proud of is I've been doing a lot of work at my house and a lot of yard work. So I never thought I was going to be a plant person at all, and I become kind of a plant person. I'm certainly still very ignorant about so many things, but I'm getting better. And the nice thing about starting from complete ignorance is, like, the steps of improvement are really big and easy to see.
Right.
So I've put in a lot of plants this spring, and I've moved a lot of stuff and created beds and built a lot of stone walls. And I keep an eye on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. Central Texas is incredibly limestone rich.
Oh, yeah.
And not a lot of topsoil. And so there'll be a lot of people who are doing some landscaping in their house, or they're building a house, and they have this pile of stones and they just want them gone.
Right.
And so they'll post, like, come get them, they're free.
Yeah.
And so my wife and I will grab our masks and drive around and pick up rocks, and literally, and I've taken, like, I trimmed all my trees and taken like 5 trips of brush to the dump to be mulched. And so honestly, I have really kind of been taking a break from the studio. I haven't made a damn thing during the pandemic. I think I am, I was talking to somebody about this a couple of days ago. I am actually now finally ready to start. And so I know what my next 2 big tasks are. One involves a kind of probably about a 6-hour period of draw play, where I'm going to be making these big faux brushes and drawing with ink, and those will become film positives to burn to screens.
Right.
And I've done that kind of thing before, and the play is usually a big part of it. And I might make anywhere from 5 to 10 in order to get one that I sort of use and like.
Right.
So I'll be doing it. I usually do a bunch of newsprints kind of as warm up, kind of figuring out, like, what are the shapes? What are the, like, literally, what is my body going to be doing as I make this? How do I get the form I want while still making it look not forced, and blah, blah, blah. So that's probably going to happen within a week, I'd say. I think I'm just going to finish my grading and get the semester done, and then jump into that. And then the second thing is a real kind of spring cleaning and inventory of the studio, which is still, I mean, I'm kind of classically bad at this. In various flat files, I still have prints, and I need to organize them all and finish signing some and finish trimming down,
right,
and get them properly stored. And so I free up some of my flat file space for new additions. So those 2 things will be coming in the next 2 weeks. And then I think I'll finally start working more in earnest over this summer. Yeah. But I've let myself I just wanted to work in the yard. That's what I've been excited about for the last 6 weeks. And I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be neglectful with my students as we switched to online.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, I struggled probably like a lot of people did. It's like, oh, this is like not fun, blah blah. But I didn't want to be neglectful, so right. I put effort into that, and I put a lot of effort into the yard, and I sort of allowed myself time to do that without kicking myself in the butt about, not spending more time in the studio.
Right. Hey, thanks for taking the time, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And be well. And we'll talk again soon sometime.
All right. You take care, Duncan.
Okay.
Say hi to people for me.
I will. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.